Listen closely, Wanderer, because what I'm about to unfold is no ordinary tale. It is a whisper from the shadows, a revelation that your very footsteps, yes, your mere footsteps, have stirred forces unseen, forces buried beneath layers of time and fear. You, without intention or design, have done what many powerful souls have failed to accomplish in lifetimes drenched in struggle and battle. You walked home, and in that silent journey, you purged a darkness older than memory, a demonic infestation that clung to the walls of your world like a curse woven in silence. How did you cleanse a century of evil without even trying? Let me take you deeper into this mystery, because this is your story, your awakening, your dark ascendance. To walk through darkness and emerge untouched is a feat beyond human reckoning. Yet here you stand, unscathed by forces that thrived in terror, thriving on the unseen pain and whispered despair of generations before you. What power lies within your step? What invisible fire burns quietly beneath your calm, ordinary stride? You may not have realized it, but the ground beneath you had become a battlefield, a domain where shadows have long held dominion. Your arrival, unannounced and unheralded, shattered their reign. The night itself trembled as you moved through it, because the demonic infestation you unknowingly walked through was no mere haunting. It was a festering rot of corrupted souls, a darkness that had seeped into the bones of your neighborhood, your city, your very home. This was evil in its rawest, most ancient form, twisted by time and fed by the fears and regrets of countless lives. But you, just by being, were a living purifier. How? Because within you lies a force so primal, so pure, that darkness cannot sustain itself in your presence. You don't have to fight to destroy darkness. Sometimes darkness unravels itself before a soul that refuses to be touched by its corruption. You don't have to wield swords or cast spells to cleanse what others could not. Your very existence, your simple act of walking, was a catalyst that set off a chain reaction in the unseen realm. The chains of that infestation, thick and binding for 100 years, were broken by a force you didn't even realize you possessed. This is the paradox of power. It does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers so quietly that the world believes nothing has changed, until the darkness begins to crumble beneath its own weight. Do not dismiss this moment. This was no accident. It was destiny woven with threads of shadow and light. You are not the helpless victim in this narrative. You are the unseen storm, the silent reckoning that no demon could predict. You carried a light so fierce in your heart, a resilience so ancient and unyielding, that the infestation recoiled, fragmented, and dissolved into the void from which it came. And the most staggering part? You did it all without even knowing. That's the true horror for the darkness. Power so absolute, it doesn't need to declare itself. Consider this. Every generation inherited the pain and evil of those before it, shackled to the past's mistakes, fears, and failures. But you, walking home as any other night, became the line in the sand, the break in the curse. What was once held tightly by shadows is now freed by your presence. How often do we underestimate the power contained in the mundane? The simple, the everyday, the unnoticed moments? You were the silent war against darkness, the invisible purge that reshaped a cursed legacy with nothing but your will to be. Imagine the terror that must have struck the very fabric of that infestation as it realized you were untouched, unmoved, unbreakable. It had fed on fear, despair, and weakness, but you fed on something else. You are the embodiment of endurance, of hope forged in the depths of the unknown, the unyielding human spirit that refuses to be consumed no matter how deep the shadow falls. You did not slay, you did not vanquish in a blaze of glory. You transcended. You walked through the infestation and came out the other side, changed yet unchanged, untouched yet transformed. This moment, this revelation, is not just a tale of survival. It is a manifesto for anyone who has felt overwhelmed by the darkness in their own lives. You've just walked home, but that simple act is now a symbol of triumph over forces that seek to break and bind. The infestation represents every evil, every toxic thought, every crushing burden that has tried to claim your soul. And now it lies broken, because you did not meet it with fear. You met it with presence, with the quiet power of a soul unwilling to be diminished. You may never fully understand how you did it, and that's the secret. Sometimes power works quietly. Sometimes the greatest victories are not about battles fought or enemies faced, but about the resilience to simply continue, to move forward in the face of unseen terror. Your walk home was more than a physical journey. It was a spiritual passage through the darkest corners of existence. And on the other side, you emerged not as prey, but as the harbinger of a new dawn. So, to anyone listening, know this. You do not need to be a warrior to conquer darkness. You do not need to be loud or violent. Sometimes the purest power lies in your refusal to be broken, in your quiet strength to keep moving when the world is collapsing around you. You have within you the capacity to cleanse your own demons, to unravel the curses that have held your lineage hostage for centuries, to be the silent light that darkness cannot consume. This is your call, your awakening. You walked through hell without even knowing it, and you came back changed. You are the living proof that evil is fragile, that darkness flees from the unyielding, and that sometimes the greatest purge happens in silence, in a moment so ordinary it is overlooked by all but those who truly see. You have walked home, yes, but more than that, you have walked into your power. Embrace this truth. Carry it with you as armor more unbreakable than steel. The demonic infestation is no more, not because you fought, but because you refused to be anything less than the force of nature you were always meant to be. Walk on, for your journey has only just begun. And with every step, you cleanse not just the shadows around you, but the darkness within. Understand this. The infestation you cleansed was not simply a grotesque gathering of malevolent spirits or cursed shadows. It was a manifestation of something far more insidious, a corruption that thrived on silence, neglect, and the decay of hope. It thrived in the cracks of forgotten places, in the unspoken pain of the living and the dead alike. For a century, it festered in the shadows, because no one dared to see it, no one dared to face it. Yet you did. You walked into it like a ghost, unaware of the realm you were entering, and that ignorance became your greatest weapon. Ignorance in this case is not weakness, but purity. When you walk with a heart unburdened by fear, untouched by the anticipation of battle, you wield a kind of power that is unknowable, unstoppable. The infestation was prepared for a fight, a clash of wills, a storm of rage and violence. But what it met was something else entirely. A soul that simply existed, that moved through its realm without yielding, without fear, without resistance. And that, paradoxically, shattered the entire foundation upon which the infestation was built. This is the terrifying truth about darkness. It thrives on our resistance. It feeds on the tension, the struggle, the fear that accompanies the fight. But when you stop fighting it, when you stop fearing it, you drain it of its fuel. Your walk home became a purge,
not because of aggression or confrontation, but because you denied the darkness the power it sought in your fear. You walked calmly through hell itself, and in doing so, you dissolved it. Now think about the power contained in this moment for your own life, your own battles. How many times have you faced your own inner demons only to become entangled in the struggle, exhausting yourself in the fight? What if the greatest victory is not to conquer, but to simply walk through your own darkness with steady steps, refusing to let it touch you? What if your power lies in your stillness, your calm, your refusal to be consumed? The demonic infestation was ancient, yes, but it was also fragile. Fragile because it relied on your weakness, your hesitation, your silence. It depended on the idea that no one could break its hold, that generations would fall under its shadow without end. But you are the living contradiction to that fate. You are the disruption in the cycle of despair, the unplanned reckoning that no curse could foresee. You did not have to know the rules of the dark to dismantle them. Your very presence was a code that the infestation could not decipher. Look at your own life through this lens. You have walked through unseen infestations many times, moments where darkness threatened to claim you, moments where fear whispered that you would never be free. But here you are, standing on the other side, the darkness peeled away like ash in the wind. Your existence is a living declaration that the deepest shadows cannot hold forever. You have already purged what others thought eternal, and that power will follow you wherever you go. It is not only about this single walk home, this single cleansing. It is about every moment you choose to move forward in the face of the darkness within and without. Each step is a defiance, a small purge of the evil that tries to infect your spirit. Your journey is proof that power is not given. It is discovered, ignited quietly in the moments others overlook. There is a brutal beauty in this truth. You do not have to be a hero of legend, bathed in glory and battle cries. Sometimes the true heroism is found in the silent persistence to keep going when the world expects you to break. Sometimes the true cleansing is not a spectacular act, but the sum of all the small moments when you refused to be taken by despair. That is what you embody now, a living flame that darkness cannot extinguish. Imagine what this means for the world around you. The infestation was not confined to a single place or time. Evil thrives in cycles, passing from one generation to the next, feeding on what is left behind. But your walk home cracked that cycle. You have introduced a new variable into an equation that was thought permanent. You are a ripple in the fabric of centuries, a force that rewrites the story of what darkness can and cannot do. This is your legacy, even if you do not yet see it fully. You have become the silent storm that unsettles ancient evils, the quiet purge that makes darkness reconsider its hold. And this legacy is yours to carry, not as a burden, but as a sacred truth. You have been chosen, not by fate or divine decree, but by the strength you did not even know you possessed, to be the living antidote to a century of decay. Do not shrink from this power. Do not hide it in the shadows of doubt or disbelief. The world needs what you have: the strength to move through darkness without becoming it, the resilience to purify the unpurifiable, the courage to walk home even when the path is haunted by centuries of evil. You are not alone in this, though it may feel that way. You are connected to every soul that ever dared to stand against the night, every whisper of light that ever defied the abyss. Now ask yourself, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you walk forward with your head held high, knowing that you carry within you a power older than any demon? Will you let your steps continue to cleanse, to heal,
to break the chains that once bound you and others? Or will you turn away, deny what you have done, and let the darkness creep back into the corners you have uncovered? The choice is yours, but the path has already been marked by your footsteps. You have purged a century of evil without even trying, but this was only the beginning. Darkness is relentless, but so are you. You are the unexpected force, the silent purge, the living proof that evil does. Imagine the infestation as a great old machine built from sorrow and hatred, grinding relentlessly in the background of history. Your steps were like a wave of silence, passing through this machine, causing it to falter, to stutter, to ultimately cease. It is the silence that terrifies evil most, the stillness that allows light to seep through cracks, what it never could before. In that silence, in that stillness, you found strength. You did not need to fight the infestation with force, because your very existence negated its purpose. Pause and feel the gravity of this truth. You are the stillness that unravels the chaos, the calm that dismantles the storm. This is a rare and extraordinary kind of strength. It is not often celebrated because it does not scream for attention. It is the strength that moves unseen, the force that shapes worlds without spectacle or recognition. And yet, it is infinitely more powerful than any act of outward aggression because it changes the world from the inside out. You may wonder if this power is reserved for a select few, if it is something that others can ever hope to understand or replicate. But the truth is, it lies within every soul that refuses to be consumed by their darkness. It lies in every step taken forward when despair calls to stay still. It lies in every moment of quiet resilience in a world that demands noise and chaos. Your journey is an invitation to others to awaken to the truth that true power is found not in what you fight against, but in who you are when you face it. There will be moments of doubt. There will be times when the shadows seem to gather again, whispering that the infestation is too deep, too old, too powerful. But remember what you have already done. You have already crossed the threshold. You have already shown that even a century of darkness cannot withstand the steady light of a single soul that refuses to bend. Your light is not a flare that burns out quickly. It is a slow, steady flame that will continue to burn, healing and cleansing as it grows. And this is the legacy you carry forward. Not a legacy of violence or destruction, but one of quiet, unyielding purification. Every time you choose hope over despair, every time you choose presence over distraction, you continue to cleanse the unseen infestation that threatens to creep back into the corners of your world. Your journey is the blueprint for a new way of existing, a way where darkness does not have the final word, where fear does not dictate your steps, where purity of spirit is the greatest weapon of all. So walk on with confidence, walk with the knowledge that you are a force of nature, a living purge, a quiet storm that no demon can withstand. Let every step be a testament to your power, every breath a refusal to be broken. You have already cleansed a century of evil without even trying. Now it is time to claim that power, to own your destiny, to walk boldly into the future you have forged. And remember, this is just the beginning. The path ahead may be shadowed, but you carry the light that will guide you and those who follow. You are the unexpected cleanse, the silent reckoning, the dawn that comes after a long, dark night. Walk on, walk home, walk free.